Okay, in this video, we're going to look at how to create some alternative storage solutions for our desk tidy that will 3D print. Last video, we talked about how to create the basic square version with taking bits out of it. Today, we'll look at some different ways to do the project. So, as I said last week, you bring the box in, and remember that the dimensions here need to be 55, right? 50, so not the height is not 55, I'm going to set the height to 10. The width and the length need to be 55 as well. Okay, so 55 by 55 by 10. That is the maximum height it can be. Okay, so 10. So for this exercise today, I'm going to drop that down to 2 because I'm going to add material. I'm going to add on a maximum of 8 millimeters to take it up to 10. So we'll start off with 2. That'll give me a base to design on. Okay, 2 millimeters is enough there, and that gives me a nice base to design from. So that's my area, things to work with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go down to here and change the grid to 5. Okay, that means this will jump around on the 5 millimeter one, like that. Actually, not, sorry, 5 here, not 0.5, 5 millimeters. And you can see when I move it, it jumps into the boxes like that. And that makes life easier because we can just snap it to the grid. What I'm also going to do then is I'm going to bring in the ruler. So I did this last video, bring that in. Okay, and because that's snapped to 5 grid, this will also jump on the lines as well. So you can bring that in the corner, and that means that it is in that corner. Just double check those numbers there are 0 and 0. That means it's zeroed into that corner like that. So that's set. At this point, you can move that if you want to do some finer movements when you bring shapes in and things, which I'll show you in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some cylinders on top of here with probably holes in. So I'm going to go to the top view like that. And when I go to the top view, I'm going to click here and go to make sure it says I want it on flat view like that. Okay, so that's flat view. So if it says, yeah, that's flat view, that's correct. So what I'm going to do is bring in my cylinders. I'm going to use some of these predefined shapes. I'm bringing the tube, okay, just to make life a little bit easy, rather than getting a cylinder and taking the hole out of it. When I get the tube, I can click here and I can alter the wall thickness. So I'm going to do it at 2 millimeters. Give me a bit more space inside. That's all you can change on there. You can make it bigger by increasing the radius. So 15, for example, will make it bigger. So on here, I'm just going to drag it in. See how it's jumping to the 5. So I might not want that on there because it's too much of a jump. So change it to 1 to give me a bit more of a smoother feel when I'm moving it. I'm going to probably pop it there. Actually, what I'm going to do first is I might pop it here to create something first. Okay, so pop it there. This design is very much a freestyle design. I'm just doing it as I go along. So I'm going to, again, bring in another tube like this. Okay, I'm going to change that one to a wall thickness of 2. This time I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, maybe like radius 8. That. And I'm going to just maybe interlock it. It doesn't quite look right, so again, I'll go a bit bigger probably with this. Let's see what 10 looks like. Same as the one. And I'm going to just join these two together like that. Okay, so join together. Then I'm going to get another one and do the same thing again. So just click it. I can do a bit of a shortcut here. I can click that to duplicate, and then I just click and drag and bring in a third one like so. For this one, I might increase the size on this one. Let's go to 12 maybe. Okay, and a lot of this with Tinkercad is just try and see what works, what looks good and what works for you in your design. So I've got my three shapes there. I can tilt that. I can see I've got the three shapes like that. What I might do at this stage is say, okay, I know that's 8. What I might do is I might just drop this one down a little bit. So, sorry, it's a height of 10, not 8. 10. So I'm going to change that to 8. And plus the 2 on here is 10. I'm going to change this one to, let's say, 6. Okay, and I'm going to just maybe move this one up to 12. Okay, go 2 millimeters over the maximum size. Not a problem. Oh, not 2, 12. Okay, so I've got 3 different tubes there, different heights. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just, while they're off the red surface, so grab them all like so, and then just click group. Okay, and that just groups them all together. Then it's going to look back at the top view, and I can then move that into place. I can see I've got quite a bit of room to play with still, so I could drag that a little bit larger. So I could hold down the shift key, make it a bit bigger so it fills the space. So that's probably the maximum size I can go, like there, without it going too far off the edge, like that. Okay, and then move it up. So I've got some space in the front there. So that could be an option like that. Then what I can do is I can group all that together. So let's do that now. Let's hold all this together. And then let's just click the group. Okay, it groups it all like so. So that leaves me a little bit of area in the front. Remember, what we're trying to do with this project is we're trying to reduce the amount of material that is in this piece, because it's going to reduce the printing time down. So what I might do here is I might get my text tool like this, and I might just write something. So let's say hello. Okay, and then we'll change the font style, anything you want, hello. Okay, could be serif, like that. And it's going to change the color so you can see it against the background, like so. Then I'm just going to reduce that down, and pretty much a lot of this work is happening in the top view. Okay, a lot of it's happening in the top view because it's just easier to work that way rather than trying to work in a 3D view. So if I can get my view to fit the page, that'd be good. So we're going to put this around here somewhere. Okay, and again we need to just do a bit of, that fits fine. You can just see that that can go there. There's plenty of space like between there and there. So what I can do now is I can just change to the, I'm going to change this to a stripy to cut it out. Okay, like that. And then I'm going to spin to the front view, and what I'm going to do to make sure it goes all the way through, I'm going to click this little cone and pull it all the way through. Okay, so I can see that's through my design, and if I just check with the top view, I can see there that it's in a good place. So highlight all of it like that, and then I'm going to just remove it. Okay, so I've got some more material taken out of there, so that won't print. And the only issue with that is that little E there will fall out if it prints. Okay, so we can resolve that. Okay, it's quite easy to do. So again, what I'll do, just go to the top view, get a little block. It says bring a little block in like this, make that really small, this sort of size, tiny. I need to zoom in to see this. Just bring it over to where we're going to be working. Oops, I've click that by mistake. So let's just bring this over to where we're going to be working over here. Let's make it really thin. Okay, like that. And let's just change the width of it. And what we're going to do now is we're going to just zoom into our work, change the color because I want to see it against this background here. I'm going to bring it on top and I'm going to just connect that to that. I want it in the center. So I'm just going to drop down this to like 0.5 to give me more movement. There you go, like that. So what I need to do now, because that's going to join that to that so it doesn't get lost when it 3D prints. So I can do that and see, well, that's a bit high. So the easiest way to fix this is look from a front view. Just click this and then just reduce the size that way. And you kind of want it in level, like that. That's how you want it, so it's touching all the way through. We can see that's touching all the way through, yeah. And then it's just a simple case of joining that together. And what you've done is you've put a little, almost like a little bridge, so that the E doesn't fall out. Okay, that's a little addition there. What I can do now is I can look at my design and think, well, where else could I potentially take away material? So I know that this is going to sit onto something in my design, so this is wasted material. So what we could do here is bring in the cylinder and we could just match it up best we can. So bring it into the center, hold down the shift key and then make it bigger. Now if I remembered what that dimension was, I could get it exactly, but I can't actually remember what it was. And also I did adjust the size. So we'll just do it by eye, which won't be a problem. We'll get it near enough. We'll take some material out. Okay, like that. So let's just zoom in again. Let's have a quick look. Okay, so I can get it exactly by probably just pulling these up and across. Now I don't want to take anything that looks about right. A little bit more. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to do that. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same as before. Click this, turn it to stripy, lower it through the work. Okay, look from the front. Okay, it's all the way through. Nice and simple. Do that and then take it away. Okay, and then we've got our hole in there. And then I'll just repeat that process 2 further times to take the material out of here and here. We could also then think about adding probably a feature on here as well. So we can go to the top view and let's add in something at the side here, maybe a little slot to put a ruler in. So we'll probably put that at the back. Now you'd have to measure the width of a ruler. I'm not sure how wide they are. So at the end point of a ruler, of course, and not the whole length, the width of a ruler. So again, I'm just going to guesstimate this with this by adjusting this to, let's say it could be, I don't know, 8 centimeters maybe? No, it's not that, is it? It's probably more than that, less than that. So I'm going to just guess it. And it's about 2 millimeters probably in its width as well. So 2 meters there. Let's pop that like here. Make it a bit bigger. Okay, and then let's do the same as we've done in the past. Click that. Let's remove that down. Okay, so it's going through our material. Click that, change it to stripy, and let's take that away from there as well. So let's take it away. Okay, that's another bit of material taken away. And you could, if you wanted to, put a little bit of detail on the top. So again, we have something raised up here. So again, within Tinkercad, there's lots of interesting little shapes and things. There's love heart, stars. There's also in text numbers, you've got all letters, which you can also add in as well if you want to. So there's loads there. So that was kind of cool. I might just get the @ symbol. take that. Okay, and let's change that to yellow so we can see it against the work. And what we're going to do this time is we're just going to, again, use the top view, click it, hold down Shift. It's a good tip to hold down Shift when you resize things because it stops any of this business. It's like squishy business. Hold down Shift, it keeps it in proportion. Okay, so it's a real good tip that. Hold down Shift when you're moving things and it keeps it in proportion. And what we can do is pop that like there. And I just want that just to be above the surface just a little bit. So I'm going to go to front and all I'm going to do is I'm going to click this and I'm going to say I want that. That's measuring it from the bottom. I kind of want to measure it from like maybe just like that. Okay, so it's like a millimeter probably above the surface, like that. Actually, it's 0.5 because that width is 2. That means that's 0.5. So I change it to 3. I know that it's a millimeter up from the surface. Well, actually, I'll do 2.5. Don't need too much, like that. And then we can do the last thing, and we can join that as well. Okay, so join that. So that looks pretty good. We've got a bit of detail taken out. We've got a little bit of raised up symbol. We've got a bit more of a complex shape happening here. We've got some detail at the back. So yeah, that looks like a bit more of a complex design. You could also take it further if you wanted to. You could subdivide these sections by adding bits. Again, try and be creative. Try and think of complex designs rather than just simple ones, because I think they would work a bit better.